And public affairs analyst Dayo Fagbulu also, joins us via Zoom from Lagos. Good to have you join us. Dayo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
All right. So I think it was just yesterday we got information from the NNPC that this might linger on a little longer because vessels are stuck on the sea as a result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But we have had fuel scarcity in the country just even before this because of adulterated fuel in the country. But this might now take a little longer. Do you think that this is something we could have mitigated, bearing in mind the issues we had before now in terms of adulterated fuel?
Well, obviously, I mean, it's like you're putting the words in my mouth. For starters, this is basically a strategic thing. I mean, the claim initially was that they had imported an additional 2.3 liters to compensate for the problem on ground, and so 1 billion liters. And they also claimed that they had a stock of about a billion liters, I mean, within the Nigerian space. So if this is the case, what we're looking at is purely a logistic thing, if they were telling the truth. But there seems to be a problem. We're also told that the marketers are complaining about additional costs of about $500,000, which they have to pay for transporting each stock that arrives at their place. Now, if this is the case, automatically, what we're saying now is that demand has increased in one form or the other. You know, there are less resources to pursue the goods that are available. And then automatically, like I said, demand has increased. If this is the case, we're going to have a problem for a reasonable amount of time, because whatever products are available that could have mitigated the situation, obviously will cost more. I mean, there will be a rush to get the product. And what we're seeing is just the human reaction to the scarcity of the product, period. You know.
And I was just going to ask you about that. As much as we know that countries around the world are now also dealing with the issue of fuel price hike, especially in places like Europe, and that's because they are Russian oil dependent. But this also looks like a man-made situation. It also looks like some sort of artificial scarcity. Some filling stations, I mean, you saw that report by a correspondent. Some filling stations are selling as high as 198, which is almost 200 naira. Some even way more than that. So do you think that somehow this is also artificial in that the marketers are also trying to make the money they might have lost while during the time of the imported adulterated fuel?
Well, for starters, let me try and explain this. We have been told that the marketers, some of them have paid since December last year for products which they have not received now. You must understand that there's a cost to funds. So there's a part where that is our own ineptitude. You know, I mean, if they've borrowed money from the bank, they're now paying in dollars, from what I'm told. They now have an additional extra charge of 500,000. What we are seeing is that these costs are being reflected as the real cost of the product now, and it's being transferred to the consumer. So, I mean, whatever we see now, in my opinion, is incompetence on one side, and it's also a reflection of the true cost of fuel itself, of the premium motor spirit, as they call it. That's the real cost of it. It's now being reflected. Of course, you know, NNPC has made all kinds of promises. You know that in economics, basically what you do is you anticipate the market and you react to the market in terms of demand and supply. And when they have failed to meet, you know, their own end of the bargain, what happens is, I mean, we react, and that's what is causing this problem. So it's basically self-inflicted in one sense, bad strategy, bad planning, bad communication maintenance. And what I mean is the language to maintain the problem has been false or has been inappropriate. And that's what you see now.
Absolutely.
So it's a combination of both.
It's a situation we're going to continue to monitor. How long we're going to have to deal with this, no one knows, because we're not getting word from the federal government on how long this will last for. But thank you so much for talking to us, as always, public affairs analyst Dayo Fagbulu.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.